The first trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever finally dropped at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, alongside a whole host of other tidbits released by Marvel Studios. But let's be honest, what good is a trailer if you can't pick it apart? Here, we navigate through the trailer and pick up on what we can and could expect from the much-anticipated sequel. Remember to stay tuned to hear possibilities on who could be the next protector of Wakanda. The trailer opens to a rendition of Bob Marley's No Woman, No Cry, which very much sets the tone for the eerie first look at the Black Panther movie without star and lead Chadwick Boseman. We see Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia looking out at the sea longingly. Fans will remember that a Nakia and T'Challa romantic history was heavily implied back in 2018's blockbuster. Could she be healing from a recent tragedy regarding her king? We're then shown Angela Bassett's Ramonda, former queen of Wakanda and mother of T'Challa and Shuri, assuming the throne of Wakanda as she addresses the country's tribe leaders. It can be assumed that with T'Challa no longer around, Ramonda has took control in the respite. But shouldn't another family member maybe be in that spot? More on that later. Next, we're taken to a ceremony of some sort, with African dancing and all attendees dressed in white, plus a first look at Letitia Wright's Princess Shuri. In the way that Wakanda was partial to ceremonial dancing and tribute, as shown in the first movie with T'Challa's coronation, we could be led to believe that this is T'Challa's funeral. The saddened expression on Shuri's face adds some weight to this. Along with a fresh look at the beautiful Wakanda at sunset, or sunrise, we get a first glimpse of Danai Gurira's Okoye and the Dora Milaje. Just a quick reminder of how badass these women are, as we get some quick shots of Ramonda and Shuri seemingly in mourning of their dearly departed son and brother respectively. We are then shown an interesting shot. The birth of a child, while submerged deep underwater. Yep, it looks like this is our first look at Talokan. What is Talokan, you ask? Well, they're an underwater civilization which is ruled by a certain character we'll speak about soon. Traditionally, this deep-sea world would have been Atlantis, as it is in the comics. Alas, it appears Marvel wants to edge away from DC's use of the destination with their current Jason Momoa-led Aquaman franchise. We then get more looks at the civilization from the depths as a woman turns to face us. Then a whale hurtles past, seemingly with people attached to it. Do the Talokan people have a cool transport system or what? Next, we're taken to a container ship at night, which is appearing to be sending people deep underwater. Are land dwellers seeking to find Talokan and its people for some reason? There's something going on by the looks of things, as armed gunmen then appear and have people pleading for their lives. From the looks of the suits being used to lower people underwater, and that light up at the wall we see something standing in front of, could Riri Williams be linked somehow? There are rumors swirling around the internet that Williams is being hunted for some reason during the film. Those armed gunmen could have cracked the case for us. A fiery shot lights up the screen next, as we're shown Shuri in the middle of a floating platform. Surrounded by water and with fire spreading across and up the walls, it makes for a fairly beautiful moment. But what is its significance? It gives the impression that a flood is occurring, but in terms of Shuri, could this be the moment where she makes a big decision regarding Wakanda? Shuri, then ever equipped with a handshake, is shown heading into her lab where she's greeted by none other than Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams herself. Now, to catch you up if you're not aware, Riri Williams is a character from the comics who has the alter ego of Ironheart. She is known as a young prodigy and inventor who creates a suit of armor that rivals that of Tony Stark's. Her being pally with Shuri is of no surprise, then, as they're both geniuses far beyond their years. But the question is, why is she in Wakanda? Those Riri on the run rumors are gathering more and more weight. Next, it's the entrance of our villain. Shown from behind as a child and then cutting straight into his grown adult physique, we get a look at Namor, played by Tenoch Huerta. Namor is one of the oldest characters in the Marvel catalog, so since the inception of the MCU back in 2008, it has only been a matter of time before he made a grand entrance. It is interesting to note that in his child and adult moments, he is either stood with or being greeted by blued humanoids. It's safe to say that these are his loyal subjects of Atlan, Talokan. We're going to need to get used to that. We also touched on that underwater birth earlier in the trailer. Mixed with these shots, is it possible we're going to get a lot of backstory on Namor from birth to now? It would allow viewers to understand his motives clearly if we're getting a lot of time from his perspective. A snowy landscape. That's giving big M'Baku vibes, and you would be correct to think so. We get Winston Duke back in the role, looking up and quite fearful alongside furry-clad members of the Dora Milaje. one of them seemingly to be surrendering? It looks like Wakanda could be made to bow. This film is apparently set to have Namor and his people trying to take grip of Wakanda civilization. Could this be a moment where one of the tribes is ticked off the list? Covered with emotional dialogue from Amanda, we get a glimpse of her appearing to be entering a press conference. Could this be where she announces the death of her son? It is highly likely that this is what gives our villains the nod to make a move on Wakanda. With no resident ruler / Black Panther, who can protect them? This is followed by a moving wall mural of Bosman's T'Challa. This echoes back to the wall mural of Iron Man back in 2019 Spider-Man No Way Home. As Ramonda insists she has given everything, even her family, we get some blink and you'll miss it shots. Some of Namor's people on a road, blocking someone from escaping, learning to hitchhike? Your guess is as good as mine. We then get Martin Freeman's Everett Ross, About Time. Riri Williams hard at work as she carves out of metal the shape of, you guessed it, the shape of a heart. Ironheart? Get it? Symbolism. The shots get even quicker as the trailer goes full throttle into action between Namor's Talokan tribe and the people of Wakanda. Explosions, and M'Baku leaping out of the air to strike Namor, the Dora Milaje preparing for battle, the Wakandan throne room being flooded. Does this echo back to Shuri's moment earlier on? Is she in the aftermath of a flood in Wakanda? Okoye slamming her staff down to stand her ground? A car/motorcycle chase? A close-up look at Namor for the first time? A tearful Shuri being consoled? Is she finding out her brother is gone? A battle in what looks like Shuri's lab? Someone, Namor, drifting down into a teeth-shaped throne? Then a big shot of the Dora Milaje diving literally into battle against Namor's cronies. Before we cut to black. Then, the money shot. No face is revealed, but a new Black Panther draws his or her claws ready to do battle. Right before the film's title shines in all of its glory. There's a lot of talk about the identity of the new Black Panther now that Bosman and King T'Challa are sadly not with us anymore. The frontrunner for these talks is Shuri. It makes sense. She's sister to the king. Technically the heir. It would make sense and would give off a lot of girl power for her to be in the big cat suit next. However, there are other names being thrown into the mix. Other popular choices include Okoye, Nakia, and even M'Baku. A surprise favorite for the position though, none other than Michael B. Jordan's Eric Stevens, aka Killmonger, the villain of the previous film. With his character being dead and a quick redemption not seeming likely, it doesn't stand to reason that he'll be on the beach as Wakanda's new protector. But he is someone people are throwing a lot of belief into for this. So there we have it. A good look at the first trailer of the hotly anticipated Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever. We get some good ideas of what the plot is going to dive into, we get looks at new characters, and we even get some heavy teases for pretty epic MCU crashing moments. Let's just hope Riri Williams gets to be involved in the action too. There's talk of an Iron Man suit built out of car parts. Anyone else all for that?